y'all feel? Come on in. Ooh-wee. It's a beautiful space to be this morning. Y'all come on in. Don't let me be out here by myself. Did y'all hear me? I said, don't let me be out here by myself. Y'all come on into the assignment. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come on, make yourself at home and come on in. It's too cool outside right now to be outside, right? There's no reason not to be.
Welcome to the Hourglass Era, where standard time converge in the morning, Monday through Thursday, within the 9 o'clock hour. I am Kendrick B. Davis, the thought-provoking specialist, and I'm on assignment. Allow us to guide as we delve into the depths of our consciousness and navigate the interwoven pathways of the mind. Join me on this thought-provoking journey where we explore the spiritual, intellectual, and physical realms, peering into the very essence of health awareness and holistic understanding. Everything on this earth is symbolic of the hourglass concept, and its center represents neutrality, a balance, a pivotal metaphor for our journey here in the hourglass. Just as the pH transition from acidity to alkalinity, so too must we navigate our thought from discordance to harmony. It's about transversing the realms of the 7 chakras and unlocking the spiritual strength, aligning our conscious selves with the greatest aspect of life. Each session here unravels the unexplored conscious thought of human existence, inviting you to awaken, transcend, and comprehend the vast expansion of our inner world. So, come, tune in, and let's embark together on this extraordinary odyssey towards enlightenment. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Hourglass Era.
How y'all feel this morning? Ooh-wee. Good morning, good morning. How y'all feel this morning? Come on into the assignment. I am Kendrick B. Davis, Sr., your thought-provoking specialist, and I'm on assignment. And I'm here this morning to just touch bases and kind of like, re-galvanize and focus and reestablish the footing by which I believe that the creator of all things has led me here. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't take it for granted that I'm here. I don't take it for granted that I'm on assignment. I don't take it for granted that at the same time the creator said, open the laptop and speak into the mind of the people. And so I'm here this morning to do just that. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it at all. And so you see at YouTube, y'all see I keep looking down. Eventually, before it's all over, said and done, Facebook family and friends will be up here in the center where it once was, you know what I'm saying? But I end up forgetting my my little tripod and all within you. Sometimes it's not going to always be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're going to actually have to move out and move forward even without any perfections being established. And you know what I'm saying? You're going to have to do it according to, you know what I'm saying, how it should be done. And so I don't take it for granted. I don't take it lightly. I don't take it any other way than what it is. And I believe that when you tap into your innermost being, when you tap into the innermost person, who you are, who you really are is spirit. And so we're spirit beings having a brief humanistic experience here on earth. And if the creator of all things have left you here for X amount of years, then at the same time, I think that he's worthy of some type of praise, honor, and glory. What you think? And I done been here on this earth 57 years and have done a lot. I've experienced a lot. I've endured a lot. I have been through a lot in my life. And so at the same time, I'm here to share my story. Because he told me years ago, about 15 or 20 years ago, he said, tell your story so I can get the glory. And so I'm here this morning to shed light, to shed encouragement, to give individuals what they need through my story. Maybe I can say something that will help them along the way. Because at the same time, I'm telling you right now, I'm not perfect in none of my actions of these 57 years of life have I ever been and proclaimed to be perfect. But one thing I am, ma'am, a sir, one thing I am, cousins, a nieces and nephews in the earth, one thing that a person cannot never tell you that I am, that I was not, was pure. And my heart has always been pure. Even when I was in my major imperfections, my heart was still pure. And so at the same time, I came this morning, having been on the mountaintop, having been almost 10,000 feet above sea level, I have sat at the peak of a rock. And at the same time, had a choice to make. And I tell you that I choose to live and not die. I chose to live and not die. And so I'm here this morning to shed light and shed encouragement, give somebody inspiration, give somebody an extra boost, if you will, towards moving correctly in the earth. We're going to always have flaws and failures and frailties. That's a given, right? Because we're born of a woman and we're born in sin. And so what they might call sin and what they might call a shortcoming, we all experience that in this thing called life. But I'm here, maybe I can say something. Maybe I will say something that will prick your spirit or incline your ear or increase your knowledge or give you what you need in order to reach beyond the break. Ooh-wee. Sometimes we're going to have the ability and the agility to reach beyond the break. Whatever has broken us and whatever has gapped us and whatever has voided us in our lives, we're going to have the power to reach beyond that point of brokenness. And so we all have been broken. We all have been broken down in some shape, form, or another. We have all been cast aside in some shape, form, or another. We've all been ostracized in some shape, form, or another. But at the same time, I'm telling you, in order to get and become who the creator of all things has allotted for you, in order for you to become that thing or that person or that someone, you're going to have to endure pain. I truly believe at this moment that pain is a prerequisite for power. It truly is. You cannot have power if you don't want to endure pain. And I believe that pain also is what gives you the ability to harness the power. You won't have a thick enough skin. You won't have what they call enough bandwidth, enough variability to endure life if pain was not a prerequisite. And so I'm here this morning with this attract success and wealth in the background, because I know that we all in this thing called life through this pandemic has deficits in our lives. I think that the powers that be create these deficits, and they keep us under through religion, through political arenas, through economical situations that happen, how all the food and increased, and I think that this is a plan. It's a plot. It's a strategy that we have to be mindful of. And so we're going to have to increase our strategies. The same keys that unlock doors in 2019 and 20 and 21 is not going to be the same keys that will unlock the doors in 2025. And so I'm here this morning. As I went to the mountain, I've looked over, I've seen the terrain. And the terrain is not a smooth, paved out, carved out situation where roads have been allotted for you. Sometimes I'm telling you, in this thing called life, you're going to have to pave your own road. You're not going to have the ability, sir, to walk on everybody else's road that has been paved for them. And then you jump on their road. Nah, you have an individualized fingerprint, sir. Amen. Your fingerprint is different from everybody else's. And so you're going to have to use the fingerprint by which the creator of all things has given you to move, to cause variability, to cause strength and power. Y'all will be up here in hey, look, after this next day, YouTube right here, but Facebook, family, and friends, I don't like where y'all sitting at. I want y'all directly in front of me. I want to be able to talk to the heart of your mind sitting directly in front of me. Facebook, family, and friends. Y'all know I started out with y'all. When the creator of all things said, open the laptop on October 15th, 2022, he said, open the laptop and speak into the mind of the people. I would have never guessed at this day I would be here right now, 2 years and some change later. I would never guess it. But I'm here to tell you that I observe and I absorb. And in this process of me going through these last 2 years of just speaking into the mind of the people, my bandwidth have been expanded. He's given me the strength and the power and the encouragement and the illustrations and the inspirations to move forward. We can't stay stagnated or where we once were. Where you was 3 years ago, sir, nephew. Can I talk to the nephews in the earth? The nieces, for whatever reason, I don't think that the targets are really targeting the nieces the way they target the nephews. I don't think that they really target the mothers the way they target the fathers. I believe that the men in the earth is always have a target on our chest. And if you're a black man in this earth and you walk out in this, every time you walk out the house, I believe that we have a bullseye on our chest. And at the same time, if you've had the ability to navigate 57 years of life, then I believe I can show you a little something, my brother. A nephew, all the sons in the earth, I believe I have the ability to show you a little something. I had to have done something correctly to be here at 57 years. And so I'm here this morning. And I'm here on assignment. I'm here to speak into the mind of the people like I've been called to do. Y'all don't never mind me. Y'all ain't, listen, YouTube, y'all know y'all can keep scrolling. Facebook, family, and friends, I know that you have the ability to use your thumb to scroll past me. But if you decide to stop on this channel, sir, hey, ma'am, if you decide to stop on this channel, you're going to have some type of intellectual content that you can take, some kind of golden nuggets that you will have the ability to grab and hold on to. Some kind of meat. Everything that I say, you're not gonna trust and believe it. And I don't expect you to. All I want you to do is take the meat and leave the bone. Ooh-wee. Did you hear me, sir? Ma'am, all I ask for you to do is take the meat. Eat a little bit of the meat that I will leave behind and then leave the bone. because you might not have the teeth and the compression to eat bone. That's why we leave them behind. Other animals, they'll eat everything, the meat and the bone. They'll crush the bone all the way out. But at the same time, here as humans, I just want you to eat. And I want to lay out a platter for you. I want to give you all the portions that you need that will make you have healthy essentials and nutrients in your body in order to make correct decisions. That's all I desire. And so at the same time as the Creator have had me and led me all the way into Mount Lemon, almost 10,000 feet above sea level, He led me there. And so I'm here to tell you, for no other reason than what I have to say is their body language tells a story. Ooh. And so one thing that psychology have done for me more than anything else, as I move towards working on my bachelor's degree in clinical psychology from FIU, my bachelor's degree I got from FIU, Florida International University. And at the same time, I can tell you this, that this wasn't always taught, that their body languages speaks volumes. All you have to do is sit back and watch a person's body language. And another thing that psychology has done for me more than anything else, ma'am, it has made me an excellent listener. I comprehend well. And so at the same time, I'm here this morning to tell you to be careful and to be diligent, to be watchful, have the ability to watch their body languages, because your body language speaks volumes. And so I'm here this morning. I am Kendrick B. Davis, Senior, your thought-provoking specialist. I'm on assignment, true enough, but at the moment that don't even matter, my assignment. Because I might be here to encourage someone. I might be here to inspire the next generation. And the person that I might be talking to at this very moment, sir, might not even be on this earth at the moment. Ooh. They might come across this live or this session from Mr. Kendrick B. Davis Sr. 20 years from now. 20 years from now, I'll be 77. But I might say something right now at this very moment in time that will trigger you to say, I got to do better in this thing called life. I just can't keep walking through this thing called life, causing trauma and chaos. All it takes is a change of thought. All it takes, sir, is a change of heart. So maybe I'm here this morning to talk to your heart chakra that might just be closed off, out of sync, out of balance, out of line. And all it's going to take is one word for you to understand that your heart chakra is significant in the earth. That how you move makes a difference. How you move throughout this earth is going to make a difference on how long you stay on this earth. Ooh. And so I came by this morning to tell every individual under the sound of my voice, watch their body languages. And one thing that I noticed, that when I speak to somebody, I'm so intuitive and I'm so intentional about allowing that person to express themselves through their body language. I relinquish the atmosphere for them to do so. Because some people speak unspoken words. Ooh. Did you hear me, sir? I say some individuals speak unspoken words. Some people have unspoken issues that they haven't even came to grips with. And some people speak through their feelings, and they don't even say a word out their mouths. And so I'm here this morning to tell every individual in the sound of my voice, be careful. Ooh, be mindful. Be intentional. Be intuitive. Express your feelings, but you're going to have to do it in a way that people that will not hurt people around you, sir. Ma'am, you're going to have to do this in a way that's not going to hurt individuals all around you. And I know at this moment you don't care. Ooh-wee. I say, I know at this moment you might not care. You might not care enough to care. It's about me, and it's about my selfishness, and it's about me getting where I need to go and doing what needs to be done. And I understand that. I ain't got no problem with you doing it. Hey, my brother, I don't have no problem with you doing what you do. YouTube, what they do. Hey, Facebook family and friends, what's good with you? You might as well come on in and gather around the table. Sir, there's a table that's being prepared for you. It's a smorgasbord of food and life and living all prepared for you. But it's up to you to go get it. It's up to you to find out what food choices you need to be eating and what food choices you need to be setting aside, because your body can't even digest that food. And so at the same time, I know my food choices are very, very, very limited here on earth at the moment, because I eat according to my blood type. And my blood type is A positive blood. So I can't eat corn and cabbage. I can't eat tomato and potato. Those four things are off the limits. For the last 9 years of my life, I had to remove potato. I used to love potato chips. I used to love French fries. I used to love tater tots. All that is potatoes. I used to love pizza. I used to love to sit there and eat salsa, but that's tomato. And so at the same time, I have to walk this thing out from a conscious perspective. Like I'm asking every individual under my sound, the sound of my voice, walk your life out from a conscious perspective. Be conscious in the steps by which you move in this earth, because it's going to be predicated upon you making it to your to older years based on how you walk now. And the consciousness that you have in your mind and in your heart and in your ability now, it's going to make a difference. And so I'm here this morning to tell you that there's a range of nonverbal signals. Did you hear me? I say there's a range of nonverbal signals that you're going to have to be careful of. If your big toe can't bend, if your right knee start to hurt, if your elbow and your wrist and your shoulders start popping and locking because you eat a food like cheese, that's causing you discomfort. It causes you dis-ease in your body. And so I'm here this morning to tell you there's a wide range of nonverbal signals that can be used to communicate your feelings and intentions. And so over these last 57 years, sir, ma'am, over the last 57 years, I have walked, I believe, intentional. Intentional to the point that I want to do correct, not only by my body, but by the bodies of others. Because I believe that we're all connected in some shape, form, or fashion, even though you are your own individual. And so am I. Every individual that you have a interaction with is a transaction. Did you hear me? I say every individual in the earth that you have an interaction with, whether you're at Walmart, Kroger's, Publix, you tell me, whether you're at the bank, whether you're making deposit, there is two things that's going to happen within that transaction that you have with this individual. It's two things. It's two columns. You're going to either have a profit loss, you're going to have a asset or a liability column. It's a pro and a con column. You tell me what column you want to use. I went financial terms for you. You're either going to be an asset in my life or you're a liability. That's it. There's no in between. And so at the same time, I'm here to tell every individual in the sound of my voice, watch their body languages. Their body language speak volumes, even when they haven't even opened their mouths. And so I'm here this morning to tell you, you have to include things like their posture. How you posture yourself, sir, is going to make a significant difference. How you posture yourself in the earth makes a significant difference. And being that we are spiritual beings having a humanistic experience, then your spirit man is the real true posture of who you operate from. And if your spirit is bad, if you got a bad aura, if you got a bad what you exude into the earth, I believe spiritually it starts there. And so I came by this morning to tell every individual in the sound of my voice, be careful. Make sure your posture is correct. You can't walk around here with an illegitimate posture or illegal posture in the atmosphere. You're going to have to posture yourself accordingly, sir. And so, ma'am, cousins and cuzzos, nieces and nephews, moms and dads, kings and queens, I'm here to tell you, posture yourself appropriately in the earth. I believe that has caused me less pain. That has caused me less pain to posture myself properly. We can add pain to our lives. We know that pain is a prerequisite for power. But at the same time, if you have unnecessary postures, you just doing unnecessary stuff that's not even feasible, that's not even going to give you longevity in the earth because you're not posturing yourself correctly, then you have to be careful. You're going to have to remain looking over your back and keeping your head on a swivel, because you don't never know where the enemy is going to be sending arrows of discord and arrows of termination, arrows of elimination, trying to eliminate you off the earth because of the things that you walk in that direction. You got to be careful. Ooh-wee. And so I'm here. And I'm here to tell you that their body language tells a story. And all you have to do is open your center eye. You might have to close both your natural eyes, sir, in order to see out your third eye chakra, which is your sixth chakra, the chakra of intuitiveness, the chakra that will give you the insight, will give you the overview, will give you the internal understanding of conscientiousness. Yeah, it's that third eye chakra that must be open, balanced, and aligned. And so I'm here to attract success This music is to attract success in your life. So I want to speak success. I want to speak overcomingness. I want to speak advancement. I want to speak privileges. I want to speak favor. That's a good word. I speak favor over your life, sir. Yes, I do. I speak favor over your life. I want nothing but goodness coming your way. But you're going to have to posture yourself correctly. Did you hear me? I say you're going to have to posture yourself in a state of understanding and comprehension holistically. You ain't going to have the ability to do it on a raggedy type time, sir. You ain't going to be able to be walking raggedy in the earth with your shoelaces untied. You're going to have to tie your shoelaces. You ain't going to be able to walk and step in poop and then come walk through the crib and come walk through certain environments and situations and then act like you're going to drag all the extra poop off your shoe into other clean environments. That's not going to work. And so we're going to have to make amends. We're going to have to come to grips with yourself first. I had to do it. I was sloppy at one time in life. So I can't badger nobody that I see, but that's coming up behind me that's sloppy. Tighten up your britches and put your belt on, sir. We don't want to see your pants sagging and you carrying on unnecessarily. We're going to have to put your pants on, pull your pants up, put your belt on, have a nice button down, and be presentable and posture yourself from a presentable perspective in the earth spiritually. We ain't talking about in the physical. Did you hear me? I ain't talking about the physical stuff. I said spiritually, we are spiritual beings having a humanistic experience. So I want to talk to your spirit. And so I'm here this morning. I'm here to tell you, watch their body language. That their body language speak volumes, even when they haven't even opened their mouths. So I'm telling you to open, balance, and align your third eye. Your third eye chakra is what's going to give you the insight that you need in order to move forward, sir. Yeah. And so I'm here this morning. I am Kendrick B. Davis Sr., your thought provoker. I'm here for no other reason than to provoke thought, to cause you to think past where you are at the moment. Ma'am, did you hear me? I know you might be going through a divorce. I feel your spirit right now. Who's watching me? You may be on the verge of divorce. But I know that in the religious sectors, they'll tell you, he don't like divorce, but he loves the divorced. You might have to go through that process of seclusion, the process of segregation, the process of separation, even from the world. You might have to separate yourself, seclude yourself from the masses, get into your own corner of this earth, and then find out what is it that you need to do in order to get yourself in a better position. Sometimes you don't have the ability to be around a crowd of people when you do it. And what I've discovered in this thing called life, that the creator of all things sometimes will set you on the backside of the desert and give you a desert experience. Or give you a belly of the whale experience. Ooh-wee. I've been there. And I've done that. I didn't like it. But I've been secluded and I've been segregated. I've even been in the hole, what they call the hole, for close to a year for doing something that I know that I didn't have but I had to do it because I had to do it. I had to set the example. So I'm here this morning knowing that I've been covered, knowing that you is covered, that I speak covering over your life. As you navigate through this thing called life, I want you to be covered in your mind, your body, and your spirit. Did you hear me? I say your spirit, mind, and body, ma'am, all three components of you has to be covered and alkaline. It has to be covered and alkalinic. Yeah, you're going to have to make sure that when you walk through this thing called life, you walk through this thing called the earth, when you walk through this thing called easy street, you can create your own easy street, sir. You don't want to walk through the energy cord of difficulty, because you can do that too. You can tap into the word difficult and makes things harder for you as you walk through. But I want to tell you that there's a way that you can walk through easy street on the top side of the hourglass, because easy got to be at the top. Dis-ease, where they get the word disease from, has to be at the bottom. And so I'm here this morning to tell you, watch and be careful. Make sure that you align your posture up with longevity here on earth. Make sure that you allow your facial expressions to exude how you really want to be received. Because all that whining and all that with your face all balled up, saying something out your neck that you know you ain't that didn't come through your heart, you talking out the side of your neck at the moment. It ain't come through the center of your heart chakra. That's why a person can watch your body language and see you ain't flowing according to the right spirit. And so I came by this morning to tell you all you have to do is watch three things about people that's not really centered. It's their posture, their facial expressions, and their hand gestures. And as a psychologist and as a therapist, as a counselor, as a coach, as a man that done been there and done that, I done been to several places, sir, state and federal. Am I proud of it? No. Have I been there? Yes. Have my feet walked through the valley of the shadow of death? Absolutely. Did I fear evil? No. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Even in the midst of him preparing a table before me in the presence of my enemies, he still anointed my head with oil. So much so that my cup runneth over. But surely goodness and mercy shall follow me, shall be included in me. Goodness and mercy, those twins called goodness and mercy, has followed me, has covered me, has protected me, has guided me, has led me to this point where I am right now at 57 years of life. And so I'm here to say, watch and be careful. Make sure that your nonverbal signals that you communicated through your feelings and intentions are valid. And if they are invalid, they got to be at the lower vibrational side of the hourglass. They got to be valid. In order for them to be valid, you got to be alkalinic. You got to be on the top side of the hourglass where validity is, where the light is. Darkness got to be at the bottom. Light got to be at the top. Positivity got to be at the top. Negativity got to be at the bottom. And so I'm here this morning. I am Kendrick B. Davis, Sr., your thought-provoking specialist, your health-conscious coach, and your intellectual content creator. I will never give you anything under intellectual content. I'm your intellectual content creator. I'm also your podcast professor. And so I come in here Monday through Thursday in the 9 o'clock hour to speak life. Because death got to be at the bottom. Life got to be at the top. So I don't speak death. I speak life into your hearing. Because I want you to live a long, valid, voluptuous, if you will, a voluptuous life, an abundant life, a life worth living. And so we can clean up and straighten out anything. All we need is a decision. All you got to do, sir, is make a decision. Did you hear me? All you have to do is make a conscious decision to do the right thing. In spite of what you may feel, in spite of the emotional turmoil that you may be in, I was once there. I believe that I can lead anybody that has a true, solid desire to move up out their lower vibrational state into a higher vibrational state. I believe that I have the capacity. Not only through education, not only through because I done went to school and matriculated in the highest of universities and I done, got these degrees on the wall. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about in the natural sense of the word. Did you hear me? I say in the very natural sense of the word. And so I'm here this morning with my smart man glasses on. Did you hear me? I say I'm here this morning, want to sit back in the cool shade of life. I don't want no problems. I don't want no turmoil. I'm a peaceful brother. And so at the same time, I'm just asking you, every individual under the sound of my voice, I'm asking you to look in the mirror. Ooh-wee. I had to do it. I had to face my own self in the mirror. At one time or another in my life, I had to look in the mirror. And the mirror is going to tell a story. The mirror will tell you a lot about yourself because it reflects back what you see. What do you see when you look in the mirror? Mirror, mirror on the wall. Ooh-wee. We have to look at ourselves in the mirror. We're going to have to put everything to the side for a second and view yourself for where you really are and look at yourself in the mirror of life and find out what it is that it's going to take to get me out of where I am. I ain't talking about finances. I ain't talking about deficits on a financial situation. I say, what is it going to take to get me up out of the darkness that's inside of me? Bring me up into the light part of conscientiousness. Sometimes it might take incarceration. I've been there and I've done that. If I add up all the years that I've spent incarcerated, it might be close to 20 years of my life. If they take bits and pieces. And then one day I'm going to sit down with my whole entire record. And I'm going to see how many days and how many months and how many weeks and how many years that I've given myself over to that mindset at one time or another in my life. And so I got to do it. I got to face my fears and face my foes and face my realities. you might as well face them, because you run from them, they're going to hunt you down. They're going to slow walk you down and overtake you if you don't face them. So ain't no reason to turn your back away from your flaws and your failures and run from them. This is the time, sir. This is your opportunity, ma'am. Cousins, nephews, and nieces in the earth. This is your opportunity to turn around and face your fears. Face them. Turn around and combat them. Be combative against the darkness that operates within yourself, and overtake it by the light and the love that it's going to require in order to be better. It's going to require you something now. I ain't saying it's going to be free. You're going to have to fight for what you want, for what it is that you desire to live a prosperous, productive life. You're going to have to fight. It ain't going to come easy, because of the fact that I believe that everything has been set against us. That's why I'm telling you to do this from this internal work, got to be done from the inside out. That's the only way you're going to have the victory, sir. Ooh-wee. Ma'am, the only way you will get the victory, you're going to have to fight from the inside out. The warfare is from the inside out. Start with your inner work first, and I guarantee you it'll manifest itself outwardly through your aura, through your charisma. You got to be charismatic, my brother. You can't do it from the roughneck perspective. That's not going to be the correct perspective by which you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to increase your charisma, your character. As my Jamaican buddy, when I was down and under in my belly in the well experience, I had one Jamaican dude that knew the word of God like the back of his hand. He said, Crispy, he said, your character makes the difference. Your character. And so your character is imperative that you move according to the internal goodness. There's some goodness inside of you, sir. You just got to go in to get it, like I had to do. You can walk around life bitter. I'm writing a book about it now called Out the Gate with the Lemon. I done been there. And I done walked through life bitter. But I'm telling you that sometimes bitter make you better, because you're able to taste the bitter side of life and say, this is not what I desire to be, the sourness and bitter all the rest of my life. I gotta add a sweetener to this bitterness. And the sweetness comes through the thoughts by which you sweeten all of the lemons of life. Because we all have them. I have them. You gonna have them. Everybody else in this earth gonna have them. The lemons of life. We all have lemons. We can all slice them and bite into the lemon and walk around bitter. Or we can add a sweetener through it through thought, and then sweeten it and make it more alkalinic. Because bitterness gotta be acidic. Sweet gotta be alkalinic. There's only two things in the earth that we have to concern ourselves with. The top side of the hourglass and the bottom side of the hourglass. And so life got to be at the top. Death got to be at the bottom. Positivity got to be at the top. Negativity got to be at the bottom. Acidity has to be at the bottom. Alkalinity got to be at the top. Sweet got to be at the top. Bitterness got to be at the bottom. Yeah. And so I'm here with this music to attract wealth and success and abundance. That's what I want for your life, sir. I want you to be attracted. We don't have to chase wealth. All we got to do is manifest it out of our minds, and wealth will come. And so at the same time, we're going to attract wealth. We're going to attract success. We're going to attract all of the privileges in the earth that's designed for us. It's for our taking. But you're going to have the right lenses on in order to see it. Did you hear me? I said you're going to have the right lenses, the right opticals, the right viewpoint, the right sight, the right vision in order to see all your golden opportunities that will increase your finances, and increase your stamina, increase your worth, and increase your value. You're going to have the right lenses on. And so maybe I came by here this morning. Maybe I had to go through everything I had to go through for 20 years of in and out of incarceration stints in order to have a 20-minute conversation with a person that will ultimately transition to the trajectory. Did you hear me? I know I stuttered a little bit, but maybe I had to go through 20 years of life just to have a 20-minute conversation with an individual that will ultimately transition the trajectory of their lives. And so I'm here this morning. I'm going to show up from this point on until the creator of all things said enough is enough and it's time for you to move on with life. I'm here. And so he called me. I believe that he's chosen me. I believe that he's given me the power through the pain that I've endured. I believe he's given me all the power I need to speak into the mind of the people. I can tell you, with no pain, there is no power. Without test, there will be not a testimony. Without mess, you can't even have a message. Without the mess, you got to go through the first 4 letters, sir. MESS. Before you can get the message, you got to go through the mess. Before you can get to a testimony, you got to go through a test. That's the only way. The first 4 letters. And so I'm here this morning as I unravel, as I unfold, as I've made a choice to live and not die, as I've made a conscious understanding to come and speak into the mind of the people, as I've been on a 21-day sabbatical where he said, be quiet for 21 days. Don't talk, just restore. Let me give you the restoration power. Let me relinquish everything there is that will hinder you or stagnate or prevent you from becoming. And so he'll move you out of environments. He'll take you from out of environments that will stagnate your progress. And if you decide to stay when he done told you to go, all you're going to do is hurt the environment by which you came into. So sometimes you're going to have to move through this thing called life by faith. You ain't got no other choice. And so I'm here this morning to tell every individual under the sound of my voice, be careful. Watch how you move in the earth. Posture yourself in a better posture, sir. Make sure that your facial expressions exude goodness. It exudes mercy. Because your facial expressions tell a story. Your posture will tell a story. Your facial and your hand gestures tell a story. You want that story at the end of your life to be good. to be merciful, to be grateful, to have an attitude of gratitude. Make sure that you're exuding goodness in the earth in order for goodness to come back to you. It's imperative that you exude goodness. It's imperative. So I came, I've saw, and I've conquered. And I first had to conquer myself. I first had to master my own intentions internally and do the internal work that was necessary in order for me to have a good aura in the earth. I believe I've done that. I believe I have the capacity to show people around me that you can start off bad and end good. So, yeah, I have to go sometimes before the Creator. I have to go sometimes before the Creator of all things and tell the Creator of all things, am I perfect? You know what He's gonna do and say. You know what she gonna do and say. You know what it is gonna do and say absolutely not. There is no perfection in the earth. But even in the midst of my imperfections, I can tell you that I'm pure. Ooh-wee. I'm not perfect, but I'm pure. Have I ever made all the right decisions? Absolutely not. Have I faltered and failed in this thing called life? Yes. Was I voted most determined to succeed at Miami Jackson Senior High? Yes. Was I voted best dressed in Alapata Elementary? Yeah. Alapata Junior High? Uh-huh. Did I do extremely well academically? Yes. But did you fail in life? I would have to say yes. And so I failed, but I'm still called. I faltered, but I'm still called. Ooh-wee. I've stumbled, but I'm still called. I've skipped my knees and my elbows in this thing called life, but I wasn't utterly cast down. I have failed and I have faltered and I have feeble, and my knees have been feeble. I have been frail. I have a whole bunch of F's in my closet. But at this moment in time, I operate from my A+ factor by being obedient to what the call is on my life, which is to speak into the mind of the people. And so I'm here, I'm solid, I'm secure, I'm stable, I'm able, I'm willing, I got vigor and vitality. I got everything I need in order to speak out my 5th chakra. Yeah. And so I'm thankful, y'all. I'm grateful. I'm appreciative of this 57 years. So maybe I have to have a 57-minute conversation with a young man that needs my assistance, or needs my help, or need my guidance. I have a son. I've already lost one. Don't have a desire to lose another. So at the same time, we got to move from where we are to where we're going. Sometimes the movement is not this long, drawn out itinerary. Sometimes the creator of all things, will say, go. You got to go. You got to go in spite of how you feel about the environment by which you got to leave from. You got to go. And I had to do it. I had to tell people along this journey of life bye. Sometimes I didn't even have the ability to say bye. Sometimes I just had to leave. Because it's going to be a rebuttal somewhere in there and another of them trying to persuade you to stay. I'm here to tell you, when the Creator say go, on the march, get set, ready, go. You ain't going to have no other chance but to do what needs to be done. Because if you stay in the environment longer than what the people around you have for you and desire you to stay, then all you're going to do is mess up the environment by which you stay in longer than what He's called you to move out of. And so, I'm here this morning. I am Kendrick B. Davis Sr., your thought-provoking specialist. I'm on assignment, y'all. I'm here to lead and guide and orchestrate and navigate and manipulate the mind of the people in order to be better. I know manipulation always sounds like it's a derogatory thing, but it's not. If you're manipulating the mind in order for them to become better, in order for them to position their posture better in the earth, in order for you to have the right understanding and comprehension in the earth, you can manipulate the mind. You can manipulate your own mind to become better. I've done it. I'm a living testimony of it. It's the inner work. There's an inner work that has to be done. And so I'm here this morning to tell you, move forward, watch their body languages. It's a non-verbal signals that people use to communicate their feelings and intentions. At the same time, their posture, their facial expression, and their hand gestures tells a story. All you got to do is watch them real close. As a matter of fact, you ain't even got to be attentive when you watch them. All you got to do is glance over at them. After you say something and they see how they move, you will know that their body language tell a story. And so I'm here this morning to tell you that we made it for the hour. I tell y'all, I would never give you under an hour. This hour that I give you, ma'am, hey, sir, this hour that I give you is out of my spirit. It's out of my understanding. You're not going to agree to everything I say. All I'm asking you to do is take the meat and leave the bone. That's all I need you to do. All I need you to do is grab hold to this energy source by which I tapped in from. It's an energy. It's a frequency that you can tap into that shifts your aura from negativity to positivity. But you got to be willing and able. You got to have the desire. You got to feel as though you deserve better from the inside out. And so I'm thankful this morning. I'm grateful. I'm appreciative. I understand. I move according to it. And so I'm thankful that we can do it the way we do it. Did you hear me? I say I'm thankful that we can do it the way we do it. I've created a space for y'all in my life. Did you hear me? I say I've created a space for y'all in my life that somehow or another we might have to lock arms. Somehow or another we're going to have to lock minds. Somehow or another we're going to have to move together in force. Somehow or another. And so I've said what needs to be said. I believe I've done what needed to be done. And I believe the creator of all things is happy, is joyful, is satisfied with my sayings. Because I said this out of love. I say these things out of my center, out of my heart chakra, for the people, for the mind of the people. If you'd have asked me this 10 years ago, I would have called you everything but a child of God. But now my heart for the people is real. It's valid. And so y'all go forward as we march onward, as we look upward to the hills from whence cometh our help, knowing that our help come from the creator of all things, the one that said, let there be, and it was. And so this music that's going to attract your abundance, going to attract your success, going to attract wealth in your life is for you. I'm giving it to you. Do you hear it? Can you receive it? Tap all the way in with it. This music is designed strictly for wealth, success, and abundance. We attract those things in our lives. We don't have to go and run out and chase them. Because if you're chasing the bag, that means it's eluding you. Oh. So I'm here this morning, thankful and grateful. I am Kendrick B. Davis Sr., your thought-provoking specialist, and I'm on assignment. Y'all be